Were you going to switch it over to Plutia?
No, I was switching it over to Neptune so that I can check. Okay. Because there's probably, I mean, yeah, for Plutia, yeah, definitely. But I just meant, like, there's probably better... If there's better armor, Neptune, I would think, immediately would know. But actually, yeah, because Plutia is the one who had her stuff so low for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about this, and Plutia is a primarily magic casting character. I'll go in and I'll check some stuff real quick with this. I'm just gonna go over to the lowest version of their thing if they have it. She doesn't count. Yeah, so we'll go over. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Just let me see the stats. That's all I want. Yeah, hold on. So, is that under status? Yes. Okay, so what I'm looking at is HP higher or is SP higher? And with her, it's going to be HP... I
think HP's just higher in general.
Yeah, I think it is too. So that doesn't really matter to me at all. That's not what I'm looking for. Fucking forget it. I'll just get the SP one.
Yeah, you're looking to do this the way it would work in other RPG systems.
No,
right?
I'm smart enough that usually I'm fine with doing things and knowing what to do. But it's like, oh, it's Vit or Men is what I was looking for.
Okay.
Like which one is higher by nature, and I think she's got a thing that buffs both. So what I want to do is just give her a Ruin Armlet, I think. I'll do that. So that'll be for her. And then I don't know why that's not the same, but whatever. Her Men, so we'll give her an armlet as well.
You might want to just buy a bunch of those.
Bangle. I want to know how many I want exactly, though. Armlet. Bangle. And for these two, it doesn't actually look like it matters because both of them have things that are fine for that, I guess. In fact, Neptune, I think, has something that's better than any of the other stuff we have here. Sorry.
It's okay.
So we want to give her an armlet. She gets a nothing because she's fine as is. She gets an armlet. She gets a bangle. Find it. She gets...
I think we picked up a hammer for her, by the way.
I think we did as well. You're going to have to give me a minute just to make sure, though. Bangle, and then Gemma's the only one. She's got the best sword she can have. And that's not it. Nothing there. Gigatoxin. We do have something better for her. It's Test Potion X. For her, we do not have any better things. For her, we do have a better weapon, yes.
Just better all around. Cool.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty cool. I forget if we picked up... Yeah, we picked up a vintage dress, but it's no better. It's actually kind of worse.
It looks nice, though.
It does. I agree. Both of these take from her, so these are not good things to put on her. But I wanted to look at them.
Yeah, but that mask is great.
Mask is pretty good, yeah. And then that should be it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So now they've all got better armor.
Take a quick check at plans.
Okay, give me a second. Sorry. What am I checking for?
The damage break.
Damage break. Oh, yeah. I don't remember what that's called. Is it even under here? It might not be in here. It might be in battle. And that would be break damage limit.
Lost
we need
game
lost
ring.
Game ring.
That's
and I
probably
believe
probably hard to find.
That's an actual item, and is it here?
I think I saw it.
Yeah, I think I saw it too. Yep. And that takes illegal RAM and magical reactors. I know where to get magical reactors, but magical reactor number 3 is a specific kind of magical reactor that we can only get if we go into, and I forget which one it is, but it's one of the dungeons that we already have, and we have to go in and do a add super enemies for it.
Okay.
So we It's this whole fucking chain of stuff that we have to do for different stuff like this.
We'll probably do it off
Don
screen.
Kong Ruins? Did we not get Don Kong?
No, we have Don Kong.
Oh yeah,
I remember
because
it sounds funny.
Right, yeah. Oh god.
Don't forget to go back in and get healing items.
Yeah, I know. So that should be alright. And then we go into Lean Box again, go into the shop, buy healing items. Let's see, we need life fragments, and I'm just gonna get a ton of these.
Just an extreme amount of life fragments.
Pardon me. Yeah, and then maybe not a lot of those, but I will get a few of the normal healing items. Like the healing pods, we can get about 20 of those. And I think that's probably okay. We can do 15 of these.
Hey, if you just press, like, left or whatever, does it give you the maximum you could potentially have?
I don't remember, but I don't... yeah, kinda. I don't want to do that right now, though.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna save one more time as a safety save. Because I do that every single time I play this game. I save about 1 million fucking times. I've noticed
It's
going
fine.
back through episodes and having to do editing and stuff like that. I keep noticing that I save like a crazy person.
Yeah, but it only takes a split second. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's probably why I do it. Is because it only takes so long. So it's for safety's sake. Don't worry about it. It's like, oh, I'm making strange choices when I do that. I was gonna say, where's Neptune? Like, she was way off on the side for some weird reason. I couldn't see her compared to anybody else.
Do you ever, in games where saving takes a long time, like Pokemon, like, save and then kind of look away from it while you're saving and then not remember if you saved?
Yeah.
Constantly?
Saving in Pokemon, by the way, does not actually take that long anymore. It used to take kind of a while
It used
during,
to take
like...
forever.
I want to say it's in 4th gen, there were 2 forms of saving. And it took people forever to figure out that this was actually
Yeah, if
totally
you don't
okay.
catch a Pokemon or change anything in your boxes and stuff, like, it
Well,
doesn't...
no. Sometimes, even if you don't do that stuff, it still considers it, like, something big. It depends. There's 2 different kinds of ones, but it depends on whether or not you've, like, mucked with your RNG enough. Like, if you changed your RNG enough to change things,
so, like
catching a
entering
Pokemon,
certain maps
doing
will
stuff
change
like
it
that.
slightly.
Yeah. If you've done stuff like that, then it goes into, I think it's saving a lot of data is what it considers that to be. And saving a lot of data can take upwards of, like, I think it's 2 minutes.
I don't
which
think
feels
it's that
like
long with 4th gen Pokemon.
Ever. It feels like absolutely forever. And it was 4th gen used to do that. 3rd gen, I think, maybe did that.
I remember it being like 30 seconds seemed like ridiculously
yeah, well, maybe
long.
it just seems like forever. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it was kind of a lot longer than it probably should have been. But I think they stopped doing that in 4th gen, if I remember correctly. I think from 4th gen on, so in 5th and 6th and everything else, they got rid of that, and there's just back to the original save type.
Okay.
Because they optimized saving in some way that actually made it easier on the system. Speaking of Pokemon, by the way, boy do I hope a lot of the leaks that have been coming out lately are fake.
Yeah, they sound really fake.
They sound super fake, but I'm worried that they're not because they've got a lot of people believing them right now. We'll have to see, because a trailer could, for all I know, a trailer could drop this week, for Christ's sake. So, oh my, fuck right off. No,
And
I'm
our
out.
broccoli.
I'm out. No, that's not fair. I'm done. I ain't fighting that.
You've become attached to broccoli and you can't stand to see her hurt.
No, it's unfair when we have both of the enemies down to like their last 10%, and then both of them transform into their virus states, regain all of their life, and we don't get anything for beating the virus form that would be more than the normal form. Like, we basically are just... At that point, we may as well have started off with a virus. I don't know why you're changing it at that point.
To be mean to us.
Yeah, right? That's it. It's just to be mean.
These guys are nicely bunched up.
Yeah.
So cold. My turn.
I can't figure out if maybe there's something wrong. Like, maybe I do have the, maybe there's
Strong
more...
enemies is turned on or something weird
No.
like that.
No. I'm thinking more like maybe there's more I can do for equipment, and I've just not got it on right now.
Well, there's the second accessory slot. Like, the one is like the bracelet, and the other's like an ornament or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, the ornaments usually don't do that, though. The ornaments
They're like
are
elements and stuff.
Yeah. It's a lot of magic stuff instead. Maybe we're just massively underleveled, though. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's down there. Nothing?
Anyways,
Nothing.
there's rumors coming out for Pokemon
Yeah,
stuff.
that it's gonna be like a... It's... Okay. I don't like talking about rumors, because they're never right. They're always lies.
So then why are you worried that they're real then? If they're
Because
always lies?
people who also say things like that are taking them as potentially being true. Now, like, the guy who runs Cerebi, Joe Merrick, is talking about, hey, I'm not saying that blank could be true, but if it is, oh my god, I'm angry. And he's got weird ties to Game Freak, so he's one of those people where it's like if he starts getting worried about something, it's a good idea to watch him, because if he's getting worried, there's a very good chance that it's true. And it's like, oh no. And he pointed out that the titles for these leaked games were actually picked up by... They've been registered trademarks.
Which doesn't mean they'll be used.
Sometimes people squat. It's true. They will squat on fake titles. But this particular company that picked this one up is known, and it's a company that Nintendo uses to buy titles for games. And if you buy a title, yes, that does mean it's going to be used. If you put in for like... Because copyright's weird. You can put in fake copyrights just to squat on copyrights. But for copywritten titles and words and things like that, you don't usually like bother copywriting fake titles that you're not going to use.
I don't know. It could be a potential thing that they want to use, maybe.
And they're very long, and the fact that they work alongside leaks that have come out that had the full title is just kind of like,
At the same
and they came out
time-
after the leaks, by the way. Like those titles weren't registered until the leaks had already come out.
Okay, I was going to suggest that maybe the leaks were made up based on having noticed that.
No, it
No?
was no. They came out. The leaks came out maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, and the titles were, as of the recording that we are doing for this, the titles were copywritten yesterday.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Is it possible for Game Freak to have heard a fake rumor and copyrighted the title of the rumor just so that no one else can get to it?
No, because there would be literally no reason for them to do that. I'm trying to figure out how I'm not going to die here. Yeah, that's the only option I really have, is hitting both of these and then calling it good. Hoping it's enough. Plutia could probably kill him. Yeah. She can go HDD. I don't know why I don't just keep going HDD as Plutia.
Yeah. Honestly, Neptune doesn't even need to be up front. You could put Pishi there.
You're probably right, to be totally honest. I mean, I don't want to be HDD for every single thing, but, like, I don't know, it might work. It might be necessary.
It might be.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, the leaks that have come out are that the games are, for those of you who have not seen, and if you haven't, then good on you because you're not paying attention to stuff that could totally be fake. The leaks are basically that the games are going to be remakes of Yellow, sort of.
Which is so weird.
It's not technically a remake, and again, they're probably fake. I'm going to be totally real with you. And I hate the concept of some of this, where it's like not quite a remake of Yellow, but is a remake of Yellow, where it's a return to Kanto, but as a sequel, because Red and Blue themselves exist.
The sequel to Red and Blue is Gold and Silver. They take place in more
It sounds
or
like
less
you're
the
crying
same.
because you're sick, by the way.
It's this. They take place sequentially. There's like a couple of years
I know,
between
it's 3
them, but
years,
they're
by
the
the way.
same. They're basically just a follow-up.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's supposed to be direct sequels to Kanto that take place, I'm going to guess, maybe like 10 or 15 years after, because of timeline shenanigans.
Yeah, timeline shenanigans right now are real weird, aren't they?
They're a little weird. They're a little confusing because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire also brought up the concept that, hey, guess what? The current series, so all of the games that take place in 6th gen onward all take place in a different universe from the games that take place prior. It's
I
a
don't know
parallel
why that was
universe
necessary.
because mega evolution is a thing and fairy type exists.
Is that really the only way
that was literally the argument.
Then is there like an extra dimension where like steel and dark
No.
don't exist?
No, because steel and dark weren't. They actually were retroactively added to Pokemon, but I think they want people to forget that happened.
Yeah, why do they need to bother with explanations? Like, you can just retcon
I really don't know.
it.
I couldn't tell you. It's just literally they didn't want to do like that kind of a retcon, I guess.
Like, I like that there's consistency in Pokemon as a world with like an ecology and a history, but some things you can just overlook. It's like how Pluto is or is not a planet. It's like the categorization there is something that you can change and say, well, scientists decided that Jigglypuff's a fairy. You can say that, and people will just be like, sure, whatever. I mean, there's Pokemon that are so illogical that you could say anything and it's fine, but the messing with the weird idea of like timelines and multiverses just opens up a can of worms you didn't need to open.
I love the explanation for that, by the way, within the game where it's explained, because it's explained in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which is a remake of Ruby and Sapphire that takes place during 6th gen, which is just already, that's kind of like, okay, there's a lot of stuff to unpack here, but okay. It's literally like, it is explained because in the Delta mission, which is an entire, like, half of the game that they added for the remake specifically, you have to go in and stop the world from being destroyed by a comet that's on a collision path with Earth.
And Deoxys is on it, right?
Yes, and like literally you are going to get on it, and somebody basically explains that they have a plan to get rid of the comet that's coming to hit Earth, and the plan is we can hit it with like a missile or something, like a bomb that we have just sitting around, but if we hit it with this bomb, it's just gonna move it. It'll move it to a different universe.
What?
And if it goes to a different universe, it might still come in contact with the planet under those conditions, but it won't be ours. It'll be a different Earth. So we're sacrificing a different Earth in exchange for the safety of our own. And somebody actively destroys the thing that they're going to use to do that, because they come up and they're like, we have no right to condemn another Earth in exchange for our own. And it's explained that they believe that this had happened once before in another universe, and that when the comet was on its way, they didn't have a way to get rid of it. So it just crashed into Earth and potentially restarted life on that planet in some way. So technology is slightly behind in that incarnation, and it becomes painfully obvious as time goes on that they're talking about normal canon 3rd gen. And it's like, oh my god, please stop,
Why
you're
was
so
that
confusing.
Necessary? It's so much
It's
clutter.
like, it's literally like the only difference between the two is Mega Evolution, but in one of them, they had no way to use Mega Evolution to stop the comet from crashing into Earth. So it crashed into Earth, Deoxys landed on the planet.
I don't think you're winning that one there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that. I'm thinking about it. But they weren't able to stop it, so Deoxys wound up on the planet. And in winding up on the planet, they also wound up destroying a bunch of garbage or something like that. And then technology had to restart from a different time and period or some weird thing. And it's like this whole confusing, why was this necessary, like, plot? Just why did you need to do this? Why was this ever a thing that you needed to address? And nobody has an answer because it's not. It was never a thing that they needed to address.
Yeah,
they just
like
chose
sometimes
to.
you make things complicated and it's more interesting. Sometimes you make things complicated and then it's just, there's no incentive to keep track of it. There's a certain level of clutter to a narrative that's just like, you can cut it out.
It's just too much at a certain point.
It doesn't
yeah.
matter. You're
I
just
agree.
making people have to keep track of stuff that doesn't matter.
It's just, and it confused the fuck out of everyone too, because now people are questioning, like, well, does that mean that every Pokemon game takes place in a different continuity? Are there multiple universes and we just keep
it would
showing
explain
up
the
in them?
versions.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like, people, that's now the argument that people have for
Like
for
red
like
and
the
blue
third
are different
versions.
universes?
Like yellow is a different universe from red and blue, but then each red and blue is its own universe on top of that, and it's just this whole, it opened the doorway for garbage to flow in.
So if you start with that as part of your premise, you can kind of play around with it and make it fun. The Disgaea series has multiverses as just kind of a built-in part of their premise, and it works. It's like kind of takes the pressure off of you to have to keep track of it, because it's like, oh, this person's from the butts dimension where everyone's a butt. Don't worry about it. like you could just say that. But when you're going into something where it has not been addressed before, and you're having to detangle which things are which universes and stuff, it's like you already had a system that worked. Why'd you mess with it? And also, it sounds like it's taking itself incredibly seriously.
It's just, it's unnecessary clutter to the storyline is all I'm thinking.
And it's like, I mean, it's Pokemon deciding that it has to be about the morality of condemning parallel versions of yourself by, like, how does, like it's okay if it wants to be a little more serious, but like, you gotta like make sacrifices somewhere. You don't have enough points to put one into every kind of narrative nonsense.
I mean, it is Pokemon. They've got enough points to put, into a lot of nonsense narratives. But yeah, no, to some extent.
Either be complicated and like have clarity to it, or be complicated and have humor to it. But you can't be confusing and serious and complicated and expect people to still hang around. Whatever.
Yeah.
I stopped caring after 4th gen. I've played 5th gen, but I have not, like... Diamond and Pearl are basically the perfect Pokemon games.
Yeah, I mean...
That might not be
kinda
true, because I haven't played Soul Silver yet.
And you're probably not gonna, because that game runs for like $70 online
Yes,
used.
but I
By the
don't
way,
want to play your
if-
version of Gold.
If you guys have not looked into, like, the prices for that stuff, I suggest you do. They are absolutely, like, terrible right now. For some strange reason, the price of gold, it's Heart Gold and Soul Silver specifically, have absolutely exploded over the last 2 generations. So, like, if you look into it right now, if you go into, like, GameStop, right? GameStop has used, you can get X and Y for, like, $20 a piece. They're super cheap. If you go in and you want Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they will legitimately charge you $60 for both games. Not together, but individually. It's $60 for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And those games, like, started at about $40. Like they've legitimately just gone up
And
in
60s
price.
without the Pokewalker.
Yeah,
correct?
60s without the Poke. It's used. You're not going to get a Pokewalker used.
Yeah, it's like, it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. Even before the price went nuts on those, they were still more expensive than every Pokemon game ever, because they were going off of the base price of a new, like, game, and the base price of the new game was slightly more for those than it is for any of the other Pokemon games, because they have Pokewalkers built in. And they don't have those if you get a used one.
Yeah, like, so like, Josh has offered to be like, hey, he's taken all of his Pokemon out of his version of Heart Gold, and I could use that if I wanted to play it. And I've told
if you
him,
wanna.
fuck off, Gold is for assholes like you. Silver
Oh, yeah,
is
thanks.
what I play,
Jeez.
because I am a person with integrity and character.
Great.
No, also, I don't like the idea of, like, just erasing your file, even if you don't have any Pokemon in it.
I don't know.
It just feels like it's something that gets you cursed by ghosts.
No, not really. I mean, it happens. You could just have, accidental curses. No, you could just, like, it's a thing that happens all the time. That's all.
I don't know, it's just...
There are some people who literally, after they finish a Pokemon game, will legitimately just restart it anyway themselves. Which I don't agree with, I don't think is a good idea, but there are a lot of people who do it.
Like, I know that it's a bit over-sentimental, but, like, it feels like just disrespectful to everything in reality to go and just erase someone else's save file. Like,
don't know.
if you get the game used, you're probably gonna have to do that to start over, but it's like
Oh,
you
yeah, you
bought
do.
it. You don't know the guy who had it last.
Yeah.
And presumably, like, you can go in and raid them for good Pokemon and take them out and put them into a different game, like, if you really want.
The only thing about Heart Gold Soul Silver that pisses me off about having to eventually potentially restart it would be that I have a notched-eared Pichu on that, and notched-eared Pichu is never going to
Oh, yeah, I'm not killing that.
It will literally... Yeah, but it can't leave that game, and it never will be able to leave that game. It couldn't even leave that game and get to, like, another 4th-gen game if it wanted to. It's stuck there forever. You go into the trading area with that, and they will legitimately tell you if it's in your party that you can't even go in there when it's in your party.
So you basically have a guardian stopping us from harming your cartridge.
A little bit. But the notched-eared Pichu was like, it was such a good idea, and then they made it non-transferable, and it was like, why did you do that?
There was
like,
no
what was your
point.
idea? Well, the point was that that's Masuda's favorite Pokemon. So Masuda was kind of like, hey, can we just get a Pichu that's like not themed around me, because that's kind of stupid, but like, can we just get a Pichu that is unique so that it could be my like sort of contribution to a game or whatever? Like, can we get a Masuda style Pichu? And his idea for that was just the notched-eared Pichu.
Yeah, so it's not like super unique, snowflakey kind of like. It's not like it's a different color.
Yeah, it's not like it looks like him. Or
it's not
anything
half
like that.
vampire with a unicorn horn.
Well,
no,
it's
just
weird
got
that you
a little
mentioned
bit
different
of
color because the only way to get it is through an event that you do need a shiny Pichu to get into.
But it's a specific shiny Pichu.
No, it's any.
No?
Well, I think it is technically a specific one because it has a unique, not trainer code, but a unique Pokemon ID, and it has to be that one to get in. So yeah, I guess technically you're right.
Yeah, it's not like you can just get any shiny.
Yeah,
but even
no,
then,
you can't just use any
shinies
shiny.
are built in. It's not like they gave you a Pichu that was like green. The Pichu
No, it's not a green
shiny
shoe.
is just a darker yellow.
No, it's orange.
Do to you.
I don't know why, but it's totally orange.
It's not like an extremely different shade.
No, it may as well be the exact same color, to be totally and completely honest. But, like, it is technically orange.
The way they always described it in promotional materials was it was the Pikachu colored Pichu.
Yeah, which is...
So it's
really
less
silly.
pastel and more mustard.
Yeah, if I'm to be totally honest, I actually hate Pikachu's entire line when it comes to shininess. Because their shinies are always really, really bad. They're the ones where it's like, we have, this shiny.
Just try
or
and
this
fight the
shiny.
boss.
Yeah, I'm thinking it. But it's like, their shinies are some of those ones where it's like, they are incredibly, like, very... I'm just gonna leave, by the way. They're the ones who have, like, no differences between their normal one and other ones.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's a
they're up there with, like,
single
Gibble.
RGB
Yeah,
points
like
off.
Gibble does that. Where it's literally, like, you can barely tell it's shiny. Unless it's in the case of Gibble, the Mega for Garchomp is way different than normal
Yeah, it's like
Garchomp.
purple.
Yeah, it's like bright purple, basically. Okay. I'm just gonna go in and do it. I'm also gonna mess with our team because I don't like this current configuration.
Yeah, like Neptune can go sit on the bench.
Yeah, for a little bit anyway. This one, and then we'll do... Who's the leader right now? Is it Neptune? Okay, let's just do this. And then I'm gonna do Pishi up here. Compa gonna go here. If can go down here, and I'll switch her with Blanc.
They have
Is that
zero.
one? Yeah, I know they have zero.
It's not necessarily gonna matter.
No, I'll do this instead. I like that. That works good. Because that gives Neptune access to other buffs.
Okay.
So that'll actually come out okay.